Your Honor, at this time, I'm going to call Mr. Shipes since he's present.
Okay, sir, if you will raise your right hand and be sworn.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Shipes, could you please state and spell your name for the record, please?
Yep. Jonny Shipes, JONNYSHIPES.
And what do you do for a living?
I run a record label that Ksoo signed to.
Okay, and for the record, who is Ksoo?
He's a recording artist signed to the company.
And his given name is Hakeem Robinson.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Yeah, correct. Sorry, I didn't understand what you were saying.
How long have you known Mr. Robinson?
Going on at least 3 years. It could be 4 at this point. I knew him before I signed him. I got to know him, really, took a liking to him and his work ethic, and then signed him, I think, 2+ years ago.
And then last year when you provided testimony to this court, you did provide testimony as it related to his character and that you found him to be a person of good moral character.
Correct.
Okay. Now, as it stands today, are you aware that Mr. Robinson collectively has a $4 million bond for 2 separate homicide charges?
Yes.
Okay. And I wouldn't call him technically an employee, but would it be fair to say that Mr. Robinson works with you?
Yes.
Okay. And based on what you are able to do, are you able to put forward any money to contribute to Mr. Robinson's bond in order to ensure that he returns to court and answers to these charges?
Yes, absolutely.
Have you been informed of the nature of the evidence and the strength of the evidence of the 2 cases against him?
Yes.
And you're still willing to put that money forward? And if I'm correct, it's $25,000, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And at the time last year when we were about to post or to come together to post the $1 million bond for Mr. Robinson, have circumstances changed since then so that you're unable to provide that today?
Yeah, just the nature of the business. A year prior to that, I had a very good year. This year, the past year has not been as good to the company. We also just, Your Honor, had no budget allotted for him for 2022 because we had no clue whether he'd be getting out of jail or not. So, our funds are tied up in other things, where a year ago we were hoping that he would be released and there was still money in his budget based on, him getting arrested within that fiscal year of his budgeting. So yeah, it's changed. One thing, I don't know how much I can actually speak, but one thing I wanted to say is, unfortunately, there's other artists that are signed to me that are in predicaments, not exactly like this, but are locked up and incarcerated. And I don't go before the judge or speak on it because I believe that what they're going through is there's facts that show that that's what's going on. And I really don't have a place to speak to a judge and say, please let somebody out based on XYZ things. In looking at this whole case, and knowing Hakeem as well as I do, I really am passionate about this and speaking to you and trying to put my best foot forward because, I think based on the evidence, it really shows that he's innocent. And I'm here before you today to just, hope that you can at least look at all the factors and understand that if I could have put more money up for this particular situation this year, I would. And I just really would let you know that I'm trying to do anything I can to get him out and to have him get back on the right path, which was really, he was becoming a music superstar as this all happened, and he's lost all his momentum. And, like I said, I really care for him and want to see him back on his feet. And I believe that, I don't think he's any type of risk. I think that between what I would put up and just him being, the celebrity that he is, he's not going anywhere, So, I'm just saying all this to say it's not like I'm just here going through the motions. I really do believe in what I'm saying and what I've seen on the evidence side. And obviously that's for you to decide, Your Honor, but I did want to say that.
All right, thank you. Any other questions, Ms. Kawaz?
I do not have any more questions for Mr. Shipes, Your Honor. I appreciate that, Mr. Shipes. Thank you.
Yep. Do you want me to log off or?
No, wait, hold up. We have two attorneys here who get an opportunity to cross-examine you, so I'll
Okay.
ask Mr. Cooper first.
Yes, Your Honor, would you prefer me to stay here?
I need you to be at a microphone, but if you'll get to this microphone closest to the smarts board, that way the witness can see you better.
Mr. Shipes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me, I know it's been a while since the last time we talked, you indicated that you did sign Hakeem Robinson, Ksoo, to your label, correct?
Correct.
And how much was that signing for?
I'm not trying to be coy with you. I honestly don't remember. I want to say 30K, possibly 50. No more than 50. I don't have it right in front of me, but between $30,000 and $50,000.
So that was $30,000 to $50,000 paid directly to Hakeem Robinson.
Correct.
Okay. And as a result of him signing with your record label, did he produce music?
He did.
Okay. And after he produced that music, was that music sold?
It was.
Okay. And that brought some profit to your company?
Unfortunately, it didn't, only because, you know, his career was cut short based on what he's going through right now. So it started to heat up, and we were very excited about him. And because he had been put in jail, we actually had money left over to be able to put towards this situation. But in the past year, him not being out, not being able to be on social media and stuff like that, you know, if I sent you a P&L, we're probably upside down, maybe like $20,000. We had thought about looking into if he's made profits and putting that towards us, but he's in the negative currently with us.
Does he make any royalties off the music that is currently outstanding?
No, but in theory, he would make royalties down the road. You know, if he got out and you know, we assumed his buzz would get back big, he'd be making royalties within, 12 months. But unfortunately right now, no, he's unrecouped.
Okay. But based on the music he's already put out, should he be released from jail, your assertion is that he would then start making money off royalties based on the music already out there?
Yes, but again, we had to pay a ton of money for lawyers and everything. So he's hundreds of thousands of dollars unrecouped based on past investments in him.
Okay. Is it your intention that if Mr. Robinson is released from jail, that he will then still be working with your label?
Yes, 100%.
And is that under the contract that he currently signed that you referenced, he got paid $30,000 to $50,000 for?
Yes.
Okay. So no new contract, still working off the existing contract.
Correct. And we did plan on finding some sort of money if we could get him released, to give him some sort of money in his pocket to live. Like I said to the judge, I'm willing to try to muster up as much money as I can. If Hakeem says to us, look, out of the, maybe we were thinking to give him 25K upon release, 10,000 more goes to his bond or something, but there's not significant money available to him this year because we hadn't budgeted for him to be out this year.
But it's a good business decision for you for him to be released so that he can make money for himself and for yourself.
If we're just speaking openly, I have very successful artists on my label. Hakeem's a year or two away. So this isn't based at all on me trying to get an artist out for my benefit. If he was a platinum selling artist, yeah, you could make that argument, but he's one of my smallest artists.
Are any of your other artists currently incarcerated on 2 different counts of murder?
Objection, relevance.
All right, how's that relevant?
Sorry, you testified that you're speaking today because.
Well, I don't actually mind answering that question, though, Your Honor, because that's what I had.
Well, the defense has objected to relevance, so I sustained it, and you don't have to answer that. The attorney will ask you another question.
You testified that you believe Hakeem Robinson is of good moral character.
100%. I've had him in my house, around my family. He's a very good guy.
Are you aware of his prior criminal history?
Yes.
What are you aware of?
I do. I'm sorry. What?
What are you aware of specifically in relation to his prior criminal history?
You're talking about these cases?
No, not these 2 cases. His prior criminal history.
I don't know. I don't have his prior stuff, but I think that regardless of his prior history before knowing me, I can only judge him off of what I've seen, and I actually rehabilitate youths for the past 15 years. So part of seeing somebody that's come out of bad circumstances and tries to better themselves. That's what I base people on. So he's never been, and again, I'm on the stand. I would never lie on this. I've never seen a violent side to him. I've never seen him do anything disrespectful around me in studios when I'm not around with my staff. So I can't speak on any of the negative, portrayals of him because I haven't seen that. I could, you could talk about his music, but that's entertainment.
Okay, well, let's do that. So his music, can you describe to the court predominantly what the themes of his music are?
Objection, relevance doesn't go to the financial inquiry and anything to do with this motion, Judge.
Okay, want to share how that's relevant?
Judge, he testified that he is standing up for Mr. Robinson based on his belief that he is of good moral character. The evidence against him is weak, in his opinion, and that his music is something that they intend to put back out there to generate funds, not only for Mr. Robinson, but for his company. I think it goes towards bias as well. So I'm trying to find out exactly what he's basing the belief that Mr. Robinson has good moral character on.
Well,
I'll allow that line of questioning. So you can go ahead and answer that, Mr. Shipes.
yeah, I mean, I don't think I know, because I've been doing this for 20 plus years, that music is entertainment, whether it's a rock star talking about, having sex with multiple women, or it's doing heroin, or whatever they talk about in their rock music, versus a hip hop artist talking about the streets that they've come from and the stories that they've seen. Hakeem's a poet, so he's painting pictures of things that he's seen, in his life or in his neighborhood. And that's like part of the beauty of what hip hop is. It's called drill music, and it's definitely has a violent undertone, but that doesn't mean that he's doing those things. And, if you look at the majority of artists, 95% of them, that's the case there, So again, I can't tell you what he does every single day of his life, but I can tell you that when he was signed to me during those years, I only saw a good guy that was trying to make a career for himself. Quiet, humble, would come to the studio, work, and that's based on why I'm here today. And no, I'm sorry, one last thing. No profit to me. The profits I'd see from him, especially with the money I've spent over the past 2 years of this nightmare, I wouldn't make money from Hakeem, for Your Honor, for 2 or 3 years. And I can get you guys statements to show you that, quarterlies, whatever you want to see.
And remind me again, where are you based out of?
New York City.
Do you reside here in Jacksonville at all?
No, but I'm very familiar with Jacksonville. I've been signing artists there for like 15 years.
So it's fair to say, I think, based on that you were not around Mr. Robinson for a large portion of his life while he resided here in Jacksonville.
No. But he's on trial for one specific thing, not things in the past that he might have done and been arrested for.
Well, there are 2 cases. No. There are currently 2 cases that he's facing charges on. Just one quick follow-up with regard to the comment you made a few moments ago regarding artists and drill rap. You said that 90-95% are talking about what they've seen. Did I understand you correctly?
Yeah, like what they've heard, neighborhood stories. That's what any great hip hop artist, or artist in general, they tell stories, they paint pictures. He's bringing people into the lifestyle of an entire state, or really deeper than a state. It's many states, and he's just talking about that. That doesn't mean he's done those things.
Would you agree that some artists that put out drill rap are talking about things they've actually done?
Objection,
Yes.
Lack of personal knowledge, improper opinion, testimony, not relevant.
Well, if he knows about it, I'll allow him to answer.
I don't know for a fact any artist. I can't speak, I'm not hanging out with these people 24/7, but yes, I'm assuming some of these stories come from reality. I mean, the particular stories you're talking about, you've seen the evidence. So, it's a 5'3" guy and Hakeem's 6'3", for just getting into the facts of the whole thing. But yeah, I'm assuming some people definitely rap about what they've lived.
All right, well, and based on that comment you just made, you indicated that I was aware the person was 5'3" and Hakeem Robinson is 6'3". When you mentioned 5'3", were you referencing the shooter captured on the dash cam video?
Yeah, that's the one video I've seen that we all know is not Hakeem Robinson.
All right, and where is your understanding of how tall the person in that dash cam video, where does that come from?
all the information I've seen.
And what information is that, sir?
I don't know what you technically call it, whatever the proper info is. You know, you look at a video and you see it, and
Okay. What is
how do I answer that? I want to answer that correctly for you and the judge. What do you mean? Like, what is the question exactly?
okay, and I'll rephrase that. I'm asking you, what is your base of knowledge for asserting that the person in the video, the shooter, is 5'3"? What are you basing that information on, or that conclusion on?
Oh, well, just like, I mean, take a look at him. He's 5'6", 5'7". He's not 6'3". I mean, as soon as I saw that video, I called Chris Costa and asked, what is this video circulating? That I said, that's not Ksoo, because anybody that can look at Ksoo and look at that video will tell you that. And Chris can go on record and tell you that, you know, that is exactly what happened.
Do you know how tall the victim was that's captured on that video?
The victim?
Yes.
No, I don't.
You have no idea.
Mm-mm.
So you would have no way of comparing the height of the victim captured on video to the person that's in the shooter captured on the video.
No, and maybe height wasn't the right word to use, but if you look at that video, again, I mean, maybe you have to know Ksoo in terms of like being next to him and seeing how big of a person he is, but that person in that video is very small, skinny, scrawny, and that just didn't look like Ksoo. So when I saw that, I sent it to Chris and said, what is this floating around the internet? Because it started to float around, you know, saying it was Ksoo, and it was just impossible to be him. That's my personal opinion. I can't prove that, but I mean, if you or, you know, the judge or whoever looked at those two videos, I believe it's pretty clear that it's not Ksoo in that particular situation.
Are you aware of pending discovery involving digital scanning that was done in this case?
Objection, facts not in evidence. We haven't received anything from
Okay,
digital.
let me stop everyone here because we're getting far afield from the bond motion, and I have a 3 o'clock hearing, so you all have limited time, and whether this witness believes or doesn't believe that the defendant's in the video, that's going to be for a jury to decide. It's not for me, for you, for anyone here. So let's just get to the bottom of what we need to know to make a determination on bond.
Yes, I have no further questions, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Atkinson, any questions? Okay. All right. Any redirect?
I don't have any, Judge.
Okay, then thank you very much, Mr. Shipes. You can log out now, sir. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Have a good Friday.
Thank you, Mr. Shipes.
Bye, guys. Bye.